Good afternoon, students. Today, let us discuss NEET 2019 question from the chapter of electromagnetics. The question says, a cylindrical conductor of radius r carrying a constant current the plot of magnetic field of magnetic field B with the distance d from the center of the conductor E is correctly represented by RE is given by. So they gave 4 plots. First option is like this, B versus D. So it is like this, then like this, R. Second plot, like this. The third plot, B versus D, is given like this. Fourth plot, B versus D, is given like this. Now we need to do the solution for this question. Already we discussed this idea in our regular teaching class. So whenever there is a cylindrical conductor, solution. Here is a cylindrical conductor. This conductor is having radius r. It is carrying current I. This current is passing through the entire cross section. I is the current passing through entire cross section. I passes through entire cross section, means entire pi r square area. We need magnetic field at a distance d. At distance d, if you draw some Amperian loop and if you consider a small element of Amperian loop dl, and if the magnetic field is located like this, integral b bar dot dl bar is mu naught times I enclosed. This is the formula known to us. Whenever you want to calculate I enclosed, this entire current is passing through the entire cross section. We require the current only passing through the required cross section of area pi d square. So current passing through unit area is given by I by pi r square. Current passing through the required pi d square area is given by I by pi r square into pi d square. Pi gets cancelled, I into d by r whole square. So if I calculate integral b bar dot dl bar, b bar and dl bar are parallel to each other. B dl cos theta, cos 0 is 1. B integral dl is equal to mu naught times I enclosed I into d by r whole square. Already we discussed this derivation, but once again I am telling you. Integral dl means if you add all the elements on the Amperian loop, you will get the circumference of the Amperian loop as 2 pi d. 2 pi d is equal to mu naught I d square by r square. D and square gets cancelled. B is equal to mu naught by 2 pi capital R square I into d. It is in the form of B is equal to some constant k into d. It is in the form of B is equal to kd, because I is the strength of current, total current constant, R radius constant, mu naught constant, 2 pi constant, everything constant. It is B is linearly proportional with the distance. The linear proportionality is observed in graph 3 and graph 4. So obviously this is wrong option, this is a wrong option. Among these two, which is correct? If I consider the point at outside, what is the strength of magnetic field due to a long conductor at an outside point means B is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi d. That is B proportional to 1 by d. B proportional to 1 by d. So here B proportional to 1 by d, it is like this. B proportional to d is like this. So option 3 is the right answer for this question. If you listen the lesson carefully and if you follow my notes carefully, already we discussed this entire derivation in the notes itself. By merely observing the graphs, you will find the key for the given question. So this is the way they are asking questions in NEET examination. Okay? We will discuss one more question now. One more question. This question is given in 2009 JEE Advanced. Integer type question it is. Integer type question. So the question, what it says, let us see. The question is like this. A steady current I goes through, otherwise you write capital I, goes through a wire loop PQR, having shape of a right angle triangle with PQ is equal to 3x, PR is equal to 4x, QR is equal to 5x. If magnitude of the magnetic field, if magnitude of magnetic field at P due to the loop is K into mu naught I by 48 pi x. K into mu naught I by 48 pi x. Then find K value. So this is the question. They did not give any diagram to us. We are asked to find the value of K. They are asked us to find the value of K. Now let us see the solution. First let me draw the diagram related to this. The diagram is quite simple. It's a right angle triangle. The name of the triangle is PQR. It's a right angle triangle. They did not give the diagram. I am drawing the diagram. In this right angle triangle, this is P, this is Q, this is R. PQ they gave it as 3x, PR they gave it as 4x, QR 5x. Obviously, you know that the angle between this side and this side, it is a 3, 4, 5 triangle. So between 3 and 5, the angle is 53 degrees. Between 4 and 5, the angle is 37 degrees, as it is a right angle. The question is the magnitude of the magnetic field. Strength of current passing through the loop is I. Suppose I is the current passing, the same I is passing like this, again the same I is passing like this. We are required to find the magnetic field at P. What is the magnetic field here? You know that it's a straight wire carrying current. A point on the same line will never possess magnetic field due to the current passing in the same line of wire. So magnetic field at B because of PR is 0. You may say that B net at P is equal to magnetic field due to PR, magnetic field due to PQ, magnetic field due to QR. 3 magnetic fields are combining together to form a magnetic field at P. So then let it be BP. Magnetic field at P is given by BPR is 0. BPQ is also 0 in the same line. Only we are left with BQR. BQR. And this point is located at a distance. If you draw a perpendicular here, this is the perpendicular distance. It's a straight wire carrying current. This point is located at some distance. What is this distance? If you want to find the distance, what is the procedure for finding the distance? So it is 5 by 2x from here to here. You can take sine theta, sine 37. Sine 37 degrees is equal to opposite side by hypotenuse. As it is right angle, it is the hypotenuse. Opposite side is d. D by 4x. Already you know that sine 37 is 3 by 5. So 3 by 5 is equal to d by 4x. So d is equal to 12x by 5. This is the distance of the point from the conductor QR. Conductor QR. So let us apply the general formula. The general formula is, if suppose d is the distance of the point from a current carrying conductor, the strength of the magnetic field can be identified by taking alpha beta. By taking alpha beta, the B value is given by mu naught I by 4 pi d sin alpha plus sin beta. Mu naught I by 4 pi d plus 4 pi d into sin alpha plus sin beta. Here we require alpha beta values. So alpha value, as it is 90, it is 37, it is 53, it is 37. So as per the question, mu naught into strength of the current is I only, 4 pi. Just now I calculated d value as 12x by 5 into sin alpha. Alpha is 53 degrees, sine 37 degrees. Now you simplify. Here you know the values of sine 53 and sine 37. You can substitute them here. Mu naught into I into 5 divided by 24 pi x sine 53. Sine 53 means 4 by 5. Sine 37 means 3 by 5. Totally it becomes 7 by 5. So, mu naught I by 24 pi x into 7 by 5. So 5 gets cancelled. So we require something into mu naught I by 48 pi x. If you want 48 pi x, you should multiply 2 in the denominator as well as in the numerator. You should multiply 2 in the denominator as well as numerator. So it is 4 pi. 48 already there, 48. This is 48. 7 into mu naught I by 48 pi x, which implies k is equal to 7. Very simple solution it is. Very simple solution it is. One more question. Let us see. This question is 2011 JEE Advanced. More than one correct question. More than one correct question. More than one correct answer question. So, the question says an electron and a proton are moving in straight parallel paths with same velocity. An electron and proton are moving on straight parallel paths with same velocity. With same velocity. They enter a semi-infinite region of uniform magnetic field B perpendicular to the velocity. Perpendicular to the velocity. Which of the following statements is or correct? The first statement is they will never come out of the magnetic field. They will never come out of magnetic field. second statement, they will come out traveling along parallel paths. They will come out traveling along parallel paths. Third statement, they will come out at the same time. Fourth statement, they will come out at different times. This is the question. Let us move to solve this question. First of all, if you read the question clearly, the electron or proton is entering into semi-infinite field perpendicular to the field. That means this is a zone of magnetic field extended up to infinity. This is a zone of magnetic field extended up to infinity. Here magnetic field is into the paper. Extended up to infinity, magnetic field is into the paper. The two particles entering are, one is proton with positive charge, another one is electron with negative charge. Both are entering into the field with the same speed. Both are entering into the field with the same speed. As we studied earlier, magnetic field only change the direction of motion of particle. As per Fleming left hand rule, when current is going like this, magnetic field is into the paper, it experiences a force in the upward direction. So due to this force, it will get a curved path like this. It will get a curved path like this. This is the path followed by proton. One student asked me, why sir, why it should execute circular path here? Always you remember, while it is entering here, exactly perpendicular to the field, it experiences force in the upward direction. So little bit it will go upwards, little bit it go upwards, and suppose at a particular moment it came here, velocity is like this, magnetic field is here, force is like this. If it comes here, velocity is like this, magnetic field is here. If it comes here, velocity is like this. As velocity is continuously changing, the magnetic field direction, the force due to magnetic field also changes. And finally, the proton will execute a path like this. Whereas electron is a negative charged particle. Conventional current direction is opposite to electron current. So electron current is going like this, means conventional current will be like this. Magnetic field is into the paper, so it experiences force in the downward direction. Therefore, it also executes a circular path, but in which direction? Almost a part of circle will be executed in this way. So electron and proton both are executing circular motions in opposite direction. It is going anti-clockwise, it is going clockwise. So this path can have certain radius. This is nothing but radius of curvature of path of proton. This is the radius of curvature of path of electron. If you want to compare, the general formula for radius is mv by bq. Already we discussed this. Here B is the strength of magnetic field which is fixed. V is the velocity with which the particle is entering into this field. So V and B are fixed. So radius depends on whom? M by Q value. M is nothing but mass. You know that mass of electron is less than mass of proton. Charge of electron and charge of proton both are same. You need not to take sign into consideration. Already, as it is negative charge, as it is positive charge, they are executing different orientations. So, charge is also same in on both the electron charge and proton charge are same in magnitude. As radius is proportional to mass, so radius of electron is less than radius of proton. Proton executes a circular path with more radius than electron. Proton executes a circular path of more radius than electron. Now, you have to check which option is correct. You have to check which option is correct. Among the options, they will never come out of the magnetic field. They will never come out of the magnetic field. And they will come out of the traveling along parallel paths. So it will come out in this path. It will also come out along this path. They are coming parallel to each other. So this option is correct. As it is a multi-correct answer question, multi-correct answer type question, we have to check the other options also. They will come out at same time, they will come out at different times. So what is the time taken by the particle to come out? If you want to calculate the time, what is the formula for time? We already calculated. Time taken can be calculated by the formula 2 pi m by bq. 2 pi m by bq. Here also b is constant, q is constant, 2 pi is constant. Time also depends on whom? Mass. Particle with more mass will take more time. Particle with less mass will take less time. So the time taken by the electron, is less than the time taken by the proton. So who will come out first? Electron will come out first. Electron will come out first. So they will come out at same time. They will come out at same time is wrong option. They will come out at different times. So proton is taking more time. Hence, they are taking different times. This option is correct. And they will never come out of the field is wrong. So they will come out of the field by traveling parallel paths. It is correct. So option 2 and option 4 both are correct for solving this problem. So these ideas also we discussed in the regular class. If you observe the regular class videos, already we discussed all these ideas. To solve this problem, whatever knowledge is required, entire knowledge is provided in the given video. So by observing the video lessons clearly, you can solve any questions. Let us move to another question. Hello. Let us discuss one more question. This question, very, very simple. 2012 question it is. 2012 JEE Advanced. Single correct answer question. The question is very simple. A loop carrying current I. A loop carrying current I lies in XY plane. A loop carrying current I lies in XY plane as shown in the figure. The unit vector k cap is coming out of the paper. The unit vector k cap is coming out of the paper. The magnetic moment of the current loop. The magnetic moment of current loop is the magnetic moment of the current loop is. This is the question. We need to discuss the solution. They gave the options like this: a square I k cap, b pi by 2 plus 1 a square I k cap, c minus pi by 2 plus 1 a square I k cap, d 2 pi plus 1 into a square I k cap. The loop is like this. This separation is A. This separation is also A. This is x-axis. This is y-axis. We need to find the magnetic moment. You know that magnetic moment is given by NIA. Number of turns in the coil into strength of the current passing through a coil into area of the coil. Magnitude is like this. This concept should be applied here to find the solution. Let us solve the question. The concept of magnetic moment we will discuss in the regular teaching lesson. For time being, you consider this formula. Here I is the strength of current passing through the loop. The same current is passing like this, like this, like this. Number of turns in the loop is 1. So n is 1, no need to worry about it. I already they gave I only. We should consider the area of the loop. If you consider, here it is a square and these are the semicircles. This semicircle is having a radius a by 2. They gave diameter a, radius a by 2. Otherwise, area of the semicircle is area of semicircle is pi r square by 2. Otherwise, pi into d by 2 whole square by 2. Pi d square by h. They gave directly diameter a. So area of the semicircle is pi a square by 8. There are 4 semicircles and 1 square. So area of loop is equal to pi a square by 8 is the area of semicircle. Like that 4 semicircles are there, 1, 2, 3, 4. Along with that 1 square is there. Square area is side square a square. It is pi a square by 2 plus a square. Pi by 2 plus 1 into a square. Simply, by knowing this formula, magnetic moment is given by number of turns in the loop is 1, strength of current is I only, area is pi by 2 plus 1 into a square. The direction of magnetic moment is given by right hand thumb rule. So if you consider the current is going in the anti-clockwise direction, the thumb is representing vertically upwards along z-axis. Along z-axis the unit vector is k cap. So if you want to represent magnetic moment as a vector, so pi by 2 plus 1 into Ia square k cap. Pi by 2 plus 1 into a square I k cap. Second option is the right option for the given question. This concept we will discuss in the next video of our regular teaching lesson. For time being, you remember this formula. Formula is very simple, NIA, number of turns in the loop into strength of current passing through the loop into area. How to find the direction? Either by Maxwell corkscrew rule or by right hand thumb rule. As the current is going like this, magnetic field is upwards. So current is going like screw rotation. If the screw is rotated in anti-clockwise, it will move upwards. If the screw is rotated anti-clockwise, if the screw is like this, if you rotate the screw head in anti-clockwise, it will move upwards. Clockwise is negative, anti-clockwise is positive. So here anti-clockwise motion is represented with k cap. So answer is the second option. Answer is the second option. One more question, let us discuss. The question, it is given in JEE Advanced 2012 as an integer type question. Integer type question. The question says, a cylindrical cavity of diameter A cylindrical cavity of diameter A exists inside a cylinder of diameter 2A. Exists inside a cylinder of diameter 2A. Both the cylinder and cavity are infinitely long. Both the cylinder and cavity are infinitely long. Both the cylinder and cavity are infinitely long. A uniform current density J, a uniform current density J flows along the length the magnitude of magnetic field at point P is given by n by 12 mu naught A J. Then the value of n is n is? This is the question. The diagram, it is like this. This is the original cylinder. The diameter of the cylinder is like this. The diameter of the cylinder, they gave it as 2a. And the cavity is like this. Cavity diameter is a. Cavity diameter is a. And this is the point P. This is the point P. At this point, we need to find the strength of the magnetic field. This is origin. Okay. This is the question. This part is the cavity. So this is entirely filled with matter. This is empty space or cavity. We are required to find the magnetic field at P. Solution. We know that whenever there is a current carrying conductor of infinite length at a distance d, if it is carrying current I, the strength of the magnetic field is given by mu naught I by 2 pi d. Here, this portion is the total portion or total conductor. T stands for total conductor or total portion. C stands for cavity. R stands for remaining part. That means total part means including cavity. If the entire cross section is filled with material, that is called total portion. Only cavity containing portion, if I consider C, remaining portion means total portion minus cavity. Magnetic field due to the remaining portion, if you want, magnetic field due to total portion minus magnetic field due to cavity. Okay. If suppose the entire cross section is filled with material without having any cavity, the strength of the magnetic field, if I find, what is the strength of the magnetic field as per the formula? Mu naught, I is the current passing through it, 2 pi. D is the distance of the point from the conductor, center of the conductor. The center of the conductor is here. Distance of the point from the center is A, 2 pi A, minus magnetic field due to cavity. Only imagine a conductor having diameter A here. If conductor is here, what is the strength of current passing through it? The strength of current passing is, as per the question, if you see, uniform current density, they said. First, let me calculate the current. Current passing through the total portion is IT. IT is the current passing through the total portion. IR is the current passing through the remaining part. IC is the current passing through the cavity. Current density is current passing through it by area. Current density is current passing through a cross section by area of cross section. So if I want current passing through the total portion, current passing through the total portion is current density into total portion area is pi a square. If I want current passing through only cavity shaped conductor, J into pi into a by 2 whole square. J into pi into a square by 4. J into pi into a square by 4, because its radius is a by 2. Its radius is a by 2. So here I should take the total portion. So current passing through the total portion I should consider here. magnetic field due to cavity shaped conductor. That means mu naught into current passing through the cavity shaped conductor by 2 pi. A means distance of the point from the center of the conductor. Already you know that it is A by 2, it is A. So distance of the point is A plus A by 2, 3A by 2. 3A by 2. Okay. Now let me substitute the values of IC and IT here. What is common? Mu naught by 2 pi A. If I take common, IT is left over here minus 2IC by A. That is mu naught by 2 pi A. IT is J into pi A square minus J into pi A square by 4 into already here 2, sorry, it is 2 by 3. 2 by 3 is available here. If I take J pi A square as common, again mu naught J pi A square by 2 pi A, 1 minus this will go for 2 times, 1 by 6. So magnetic field due to the remaining portion is given by, here pi gets cancelled, A and square gets cancelled, mu naught J A by 2, 1 minus 1 by 6 means 5 by 6. So 5 by 12 mu naught AJ. 5 by 12 mu naught AJ is the magnetic field due to the remaining portion. If you compare it with N by 12 mu naught AJ, N is equal to 5. That is the required answer. N is equal to 5 is the required answer. As it is an integer answer type question, the value of N we found it as 5. Very, very simple. Note it down and try to do the similar type of questions.